Hey, turn the music down a little bit. How's it going, everybody?
Hey everyone, what's going on?
Howdy, hey, everybody. Welcome. This is Loreseekers Live. Yeah. Those real deep, sultry tones.
You're creepy. When you do that, we lose followers.
We lose followers when we do this.
You.
I want to hang the pendant right here. I think I'm going to hang that here tonight.
It's actually a really good idea, but mine's way back there, and my ass ain't getting out of this chair. So there's that.
What's going on, stream? All right, let's do some level testing. Then I'll go around and do my greeting. Hey, Jebro, good to see you.
Bald is beautiful.
Hope your stream went well. I saw you were live.
He rated us.
Oh, he did. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was while you were taking a dump.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, welcome back.
All right.
Hope everything went well.
It's if you mean cracking open my drink here.
Oh my, that is not keto.
It is not, and it's been sitting in my fridge, and I had to have it.
Well, we all fall off the wagon, I guess.
Well, you know, we all can't be perfect like you. All right, let me hear you.
Goddamn right.
Hey, talk to me. Talk.
Test. I was hearing a freaking squirrel off and on for like the 5 minutes you were gone.
Really?
Yes.
All 5 minutes. Let's turn this music off here. We don't need that no more. All
Now,
right,
while that was happening, I tested my recording, and I cannot hear it on my recording. I was just hearing it right up in my ear holes.
Okay.
So
all right.
I do not seem to hear it anymore.
All right, I'm going to turn you up a little bit more. Talk to me again. So, Cash, how was your day?
My day was amazing. I did all kinds of amazing things today, like cut the lawn.
All right, that's good.
And lift heavy crap.
Yep, that's good.
Okay.
Test. There. All right. Now I think we're ready. Bald is beautiful. Good evening. Hey,
right.
Traylon, good to see you. Jeb, bro, yes. Good to see you again. Rykoff, who else we got here? Wolfsbane, Art, good to see you. T-Boyd, I almost butchered it. To learn, good to see you.
DD4.
Who else? Gone Crazy, back soon. Good to see you, my dear.
Nobisera.
Kitsune, what's going on?
Learns here.
We'll be joining the Loreseeker Master Race.
What? We're one of those?
I don't know. Polly, good to see you. Creve, good to see you. Tark, good to see you. Polith, good to see you. Reader Greek, good to see you as well. All kinds of people just showing up here tonight.
Yep. And I think there was a double sub wall.
Oh, was there? Oh, right on.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we got Lunar Spear with a follow. Von Jamestein with Sarisa for 2 months. Thank you very much. Jebro, thanks for the host, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Von JJ's, thank you so much for the host. And Waslin, thanks for the follow just now.
Yeah. John, my cats are currently sunbathing.
Sunbathe.
They won't come in here until that sun goes over the other side of the house.
Hey, are you recording?
Oh, isn't that good that I put that note on the note?
You are a genius.
A note on the notes. Genius. Yes.
Oh, hey, everyone. Tell your friends, tell your wives, your husbands, everybody. Get them up in here. We are on our push to partner. And we're going to wait just a few more minutes. We want to see more people in here before we get started. I want at least 50 people in here.
Hide your baby. Hide your daughter.
Hide your wife. Because we partnering everybody up in here. Test.
It would be nice.
Test. We're just doing it for kicks and giggles, really.
Yep. S's and G's.
Yep. Telling my cat, thank you. Tell your dog, tell your hamster, your mouse, your ants.
That Jibs is no longer keto. Look at that freaking giant mug of carbs.
You know,
just kidding, dude, I'm just flicking your nuts. I'm just kidding. You're fine.
That's the one flick that hurts. That's the one. I don't care.
I am having a perfectly
that's
I'm
great.
having a
No one
perfectly
cares.
keto
No one
chai
cares.
tea.
Crap your pants tomorrow.
With coconut milk. That's what's in here.
I am having.
I'm not even drinking whiskey tonight.
Shame on you.
I drank whiskey last night and I woke up with a gnarly freaking headache.
Thank you,
which is
Art.
super rare.
Art says the man has lost 30 pounds. Let him drink.
Yep. Well, he's gonna get him right back.
I am not.
Just kidding. You're
not
fine.
even close.
You're fine.
Not even close.
You can live.
Elden Monster, thanks so much for the follow. Much appreciated. Super hipster
That's
Cash.
what she said.
Oh, everybody. Well, we missed you. We really
Yes,
did.
we did.
Not being Polly, thanks so much for the sub. Appreciate it. Not being here last week was awful feeling, and we're so glad to be back doing it. We're doing it.
Agreed.
And we're super stoked to have you here with us, actually. That makes our day. Dilly. Yes. Knob, good to see you.
That's what she said.
I love the laugh. The laugh makes me laugh every time. Jake, good to see you. Watching from Sydney, Australia. Well, you tell Sydney that we said hello.
Hi.
Oh, I need to get the tavern music queued up. That'd be bad.
Yes, you do.
We start the show, and they'd probably pick up like, something doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel right. Jabs.
I love it that we have people watching from down under.
I do too.
So cool.
I love that every week. I should really go check. I used to check often where people are listening from. But
You should.
it's one of my favorite things to do. You get people, you see like United Kingdom, Australia, France, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Just all kinds of awesome places. Places I can't pronounce correctly, but if we're being honest, I can't pronounce anything correctly.
What we have here is failure to communicate. That was me that time. That wasn't a soundbite.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, there's the music. Okay, we're ready now.
right.
All right. So per usual, since we're doing the fan mail tonight, I need you to talk just a few while I upload the others. Just be yourself. Long story short, just don't shut up.
Where do you want me to do that?
The very beginning, after the barmaid.
Roger.
Cash, I have to do burpees before I'm done working out. How many?
How many?
1 million
Go
burpees.
go for the bench bar. Do 100.
There you go.
That'll hurt.
Set the
Start
tone
with
for your week.
25 already.
Set the
Start
tone.
with 25.
Oh,
That's like my lazy man's workout. Like when I don't want to put anything together, I'll just go do 100 burpees for time.
that's awful. That is awful.
That's why
Yeah.
I do them, because they're terrible.
Yeah. All right, I think levels are decent. You said you are recording?
Yeah, I'm all good.
All right. Okay, well, everybody, we got 50 viewers. I think it's time we start. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Loreseekers Live.
Last week on Loreseekers.
Lore lesson number 67, my friends. We are talking the fourth era. This is when it gets real.
At the end of the day, what this is creating, and again, we've talked about this on the show, is a story. A story that you can share whenever you were playing with somebody. Hey, remember when it used to be like this, or this was this, or this was that? And that's really, at the end of the day, what MMOs do for you.
One of the things that made me happy was to hear Rich say, when they were presenting this, was to hear Rich say, we do hear you. We are not ignoring what you're asking.
Greetings, travelers. Welcome to the Loreseekers podcast. Grab an ale and join our two adventurers as they share their tales of misadventure in the land of Tamriel. Here they are at their usual table, Jibs and Cash.
Oh, the divines have shined. I am healed.
Dang it, you knocked the tack off this seat I put right before you sat down.
Healed. I saw that. I saw what you did. I mean, what kind of guy does that? Like
This
you
guy.
could have done a million
What can I get you, boys?
different things. Hi.
Well, hello.
She is on point tonight. You are earning your pay. I'll take a comely winch whiskey, please, for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll take a rye on your eye, please.
Right in your eye.
Coming right up.
That's what
Oh.
she said.
All right, Michael Scott. Michael.
I can't stop. I do it all week long. This is your fault. I walk around saying that's what she said and false, and I'm doing all kinds of
False.
freaking The Office stuff. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that does not get old. That does not get old. So how are you, buddy?
I'm good, man.
Yeah?
And I've been great. I don't know. I think I'm just at this point where I'm fully in this realization state that I love my life. I truly do. And I'm not trying to take this to a deep place, but man, I am so blessed to be able to go to work, have an amazing family, have this incredible hobby that I absolutely love. And then on top of that, get to create things around this hobby and play this amazing game and have this amazing community to be surrounded by. I freaking love my life. I love you. I love everybody in chat. I love everybody listening. I love you all.
I love rug.
I love lamp.
Brick, are you just saying, looking around the room and saying you love things that you can see?
Loud noises. Yes.
Well, that's awesome, man. That's a good place to be. That's a good place to be. That's a good place.
How are
to be,
you?
absolutely. I'm fan-freaking-tastic. I'm feeling better. Turns out amoxicillin does wonders for making you feel better. This morning,
Yeah.
I called my doc. I'm like, look, this thing's still here. I need something. So 12 hours later, here we are. So bing, bang, boom. Jibs is back, baby. Feeling good.
Man.
Yeah.
Like you still had it because like
Yeah.
the entire past week that I've been talking to you, you sounded amazing after that last show that we recorded last week. Or no, it wasn't even that. It was the because we recorded our show. We weren't live.
Right. Yeah, we had
And then we streamed
yeah.
and you sounded like you were getting over it a little bit, but like the past 3-4 days you've sounded fine. I didn't know that you were still feeling poopy.
Oh yeah, yeah. This has been about a week and a half, and I was talking to one of the people from actually it was Midnight Matt, so I'm gonna call him from now on, in Loreseekers Discord, and turns out he's north of me, where I live, and they're dealing with something as well. It's just like it doesn't go away. This strain, whatever it is, it's just not going. Like it's just hanging out. I'm like, we're not friends, you know. I didn't invite you
Definitely
here.
Manhattan flu.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Manhattan flu. That's what
Definitely.
the slow do.
Definitely. But in other news, I got my necro healer to 50.
Yes, you did.
Ding dong, baby, ding dong. Yeah, and then we went and ran some scale call the other night. That was fun.
Yes,
Oh, it was
fun, and I was really excited that you kept us all alive until we died a couple
And
times.
You died once.
We did.
I can
We did really
confirm
well.
I definitely nodded off during one poll. But
Yeah, it was late for you.
I don't know. Yeah, I offer no
Yeah, we gotta
excuses.
get you. We maybe gotta get you some meth or something for those late night gaming sessions. Just keep you awake because you do go radio silent after a few minutes, and then like someone will pop in channel like, "Hey everybody," and then all of a sudden be like, "Oh hey, what's going on?" And you actually admitted it last night that I'm not gonna lie, I was asleep for like that entire last poll. And we're like, well, it's good to know we needed a healer anyway. Could have taken another DPS and been out of here 10 minutes ago.
I just wanted to, keep you all on your toes. But no, it was,
Well, that doesn't happen on vet content.
no, definitely.
We were just like blasting through to get your gear.
Yeah, that would do on normal.
And-
I tell you what, like,
Yeah, it's easy.
I'll talk all day long how vet scale caller is legit, but you go into that thing normal and we're just pummeling everything.
But what was good is that even though like we had plenty of DPS, we had a great tank, and obviously Jibs is a solid healer, and we got in there, and the thing that I like about our community is that we're still going through the mechanics. So we'll get to every boss and explain it, even if maybe if somebody's a little bit fuzzy, or if everybody kind of understands it, then we're good. But we still explain the mechanics, and by the time we get through whatever boss we're killing, we just melt their face
Right,
and they don't even get through their mechanics. So,
right.
but it's nice to know that we're, in that repetition of actually playing the game the way the game is designed. And we kind of pride ourselves on it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's been going on, and just enjoying ESO. That's what's been happening. Lots and lots of
Nice.
heals, lots and lots of other stuff. But anyway, well, are you ready to get her done?
I am, yeah. My week in gaming is grinding.
Oh,
I'm
I didn't
just-
ask you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of lackluster. I've got to play every day, and Still playing on my Magplar. I really, really enjoy the Magica Templar. I'm really liking him, and I'm getting messages from people going, "So you think this one's gonna stick here, dummy?" And I go, "Man, stuck today." So, but yeah,
Well, that's
really
none of your
enjoying
business.
him.
You don't know.
I'm really enjoying him, and actually, there's a couple people in guild that I'm seeing that are trying the same build that I'm trying. I'm doing a Zynode's off balance Magica Templar build, and I'm really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a Necro Healer
Yeah.
for the sole purpose of getting transmute stones from Battlegrounds and PvP. But
Right.
turns out I like him
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. That's good.
Really fun for PvP.
That's awesome.
Resto front bar, sword and board back bar, and he's doesn't do any damn damage, but he sure heals like crazy.
Yeah, he does. He keeps you up.
Yeah, so he's fun. Just some veteran content this week. You know, getting into some of the harder stuff, and I'm trying to make that like my baseline.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like instead of just queuing up for dungeons, like we're doing the hard stuff just so that's what I'm used to.
Right.
And the reason being, I'm getting ready to dive back into Veteran Maelstrom.
Yeah, you are. We're going to be talking about that a little bit today on the show.
Yes, we are.
So, well, I think we should just, without further ado, let's get this going. So, everybody, welcome. This is the Loreseekers podcast where we chitty chat about the Elder Scrolls Online. This is Volume 5, Episode 4. We're your hosts. I'm Jordan Butts, Jibs for short, and joined by Cash.
I'm here. It's all whenever you say that, it sounds like splash.
I don't know how
Joined by
all these years of casting together. I've lost any kind of creativity for introducing you. I always just end with a S.
Well, why don't you put 30 seconds into it and think of something snarky?
Well, because I'm actually a kind soul, and
Ooh, you kind of are.
you know, I like to be nice. Maybe that's why I don't.
It doesn't mean that I'm going to stop kicking you in the nuts. 'Cause I will not.
Because
That's my fun for the week. You're
will
like,
happen.
oh, I love getting on the show. It's that you're doing the show. That's like my highlight for the week. Well, mine is kicking you square in your jibs.
Well, friends, if you were here last week on the show, we talked QuakeCon, ESO stream details, also talked performance updates, Ground Store Showcase, and we finished up the eras. We've did the lore lesson on the 4th era, but this week on the show, my friends, this week we're talking your fan mail, starting it off with you, hearing your emails and voicemails. Also, the Orsinium celebration event, new details on the upcoming dungeon layer of Marsalak, elsewhere soundtracks back in the news. Dungeon lore makes its return, and I forgot we were doing that one. Lore lesson on. I'm really excited about this. You should be too. Buckle up because we're doing a lore lesson on the Dragon Guard.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. That's what I need. I need a soundbite from you. I need one of those.
Which one?
Dun dun dun.
Okay. Looks like I'll be doing that this week.
Well, you know, in your ever.
I've been looking for you.
Oh, hi.
Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only.
Thanks so much. Do you want a drink?
Why does he wear heels?
I don't know.
Is he from Holland?
I don't know.
Wooden shoes on. Isn't that weird?
Maybe that's his hobby. Maybe it's his thing. You know, everyone's got a thing.
Yeah, normally you keep
Why does
your
everyone
fetishes.
have a gimmick?
You keep your fetishes behind closed doors. You don't wear them into a bar.
Well, I mean, I wear Crocs to weddings, so, you know, what's the difference?
There is zero difference.
Okay.
You're right, and you have me. Zero difference.
All right, friends. Well, it's that time for the mail. You send us your stuff over at loreseekerspodcast@gmail.com, or if you call us, which is 765-382-6961. Well, you know, we believe we switched this up a while ago, starting the show off with you, because we want to hear from you and what you have to say. So, first up, we've got Aluminum Siding. I love introducing that name. It makes me smile. Aluminum Siding
They're in
on...
chat.
Yeah, yes. Hey, what's going on ESO Music. Let's take a listen.
Hey guys, this is Ryan, aka Aluminum Siding in the Guild. Just got a quick question with the release of the Elsewhere soundtrack. If you guys had a favorite song from ESO and what it is, I will say that mine has to be North Point Nocturne. It's probably my favorite. Also, I want to thank you guys for helping me get through this week, you and the community, especially Goat Post. for making me laugh. I've lost my second Khajiit this year, and it's been a rough time, but you guys have been getting me through it. Thanks again for what you do, and love you guys.
All right. Well, thank you.
Love right back at you. And I know exactly how it feels to
Agreed.
lose a Khajiit.
Yeah.
It sucks. So I'm really sorry to hear that, man.
Absolutely. But anyway, what's your favorite ESO music? I feel like you're Googling right now. Because you went real silent
I want
after
the
that
name
statement.
of it.
Normally you never shut up.
No. Oh my, 1,000 middle fingers are stabbing you in your eye right now.
You seen that GIF where it's like, oh, never mind. That's not a middle finger. Never mind. All right, so continue.
God. Yeah. So I used to love, and I don't know if the name of the song is Solitude, but it's the theme of Solitude. I used to absolutely love that song, and this is no joke. When I write lore or research or whatever I'm doing for the show, I have a really good set of headphones. It's either these ones, or if I'm on my laptop, then I have a really good, decent, surround sound headset that I put on, and I go to YouTube and I look up Kind's Peace. It is a compilation of music on YouTube that blows my freaking mind every single time. I never get tired of listening to it. Now, that being said, with the release of Elsewhere and the very unique sounds that come out of that music, I have a new favorite song from Elder Scrolls, and it happens to be Elder Scrolls Online. It is called The Clash of Fang and Flame. It is the song that you hear when you log into the game. It is that one with the I don't even know, are they cellos or I don't know. They make me freaking cry. I freaking love that song. I could listen to it on a loop over and over and over again. So anyway, A Clash of Fang and Flame.
Okay. Good choice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good choice. For me, it's when it comes to ESO, I know this is probably like, well, yeah, okay, because you're in a tavern. Well, no, it really does sticks out to me, mainly because the entire experience that follows it. For me, it's the bards, and I know that's not like a specific track, but
that's not the bards from Somerset, is it?
No, you cannot come back from those bards in Somerset. That was like the regular bard was on vacation, and they're like, "Here, we need you to fill in," and she showed up.
When I walk by that, I don't mean to interrupt your story, but when I walk by that, I want to just give her just a big hug and just squeeze and put my hand over her mouth and then let her go. I don't want to end it.
And then
I just want to scare her a little bit.
Then just let her sink.
That's so terrible.
That's awful. But
I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm just kidding.
She really though, the Somerset bard is absolutely awful. I just want to say that there. I've said it. But no, I love the bards in ESO mainly because you go in there and you sit, and it's everything else that follows that makes that music for me. So it's the atmosphere. You're seeing the people drinking, talking, people, even players coming in and out. Sometimes I just go in a tavern, I'll just sit there and just watch and listen. And to me, and I know we kind of carry that over here in the show, but to me, it's just like, oh, it's like the equivalent of those the Khajiit and Elsewhere, where they're in the sand and they're doing their slow, like not dance, but like their combat thing they're doing.
Little Tai Chi looking thing.
Little Tai Chi,
yeah. The very beginning opening quest.
Yeah.
I like that. I think the first time that the music really struck me, the bard music anyway, and Elsewhere really struck me, and I think I talked about this on the show. I'm pretty sure Rimmen is the first city. Is that the first city that you go to? Riverhold.
Well, technically, yeah, it'd be Riverhold.
Yeah, Riverhold. So when you first, that makes sense because there's a bridge there. So you cross over a little river and you go into the bridge, and then it's tucked onto the right. There's a tavern tucked onto the right. I forget what the name of it is. It's got a really kind of cool name. But when I walked in there for the first time, I stopped and just went, whoa. And I was listening to the bard.
Yes.
Riverhold, and I was blown away.
Yeah, agreed 100%. And there's there's players that have that mentality as well, because you can tell when that's one of my favorite things too, is just watching other players. So they go in there, and there's many people doing the same thing, just sitting there, standing there, listening. Like that's such a crucial part of. It's funny how that's such a crucial part of the chapter experience now.
Yeah, I mean, when you want to talk about immersing yourself in the world, that is one of the ways that I do it.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy that. And you know what I think I'm going to do in the very near future, that something I really haven't dove in,
Mm-hmm.
divot,
Mm-hmm.
fishing.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do a whole lot more fishing.
Yeah? You going to go for the master angler?
I think I'm just going to fish and listen to the music and enjoy the game and the surroundings and finding new fishing spots and
Guild event.
yelling at people when they try and fish my hole.
Get out of my hall.
Get out of my hole. Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next up, we've got on the next voicemail, we've got Eremithius, who's the host of Written in Uncertainty, the ESO podcast. Let's take a listen.
Hello, Loreseekers. This is Aramithius. I just wanted to say thank you ever so much for the shout out on your show last week, and thanks ever so much also to all the guild members that were busily keeping me company in Discord while I was fantastically bored out of my mind on a hospital bed. I am now out and on the mend, although not allowed to drive yet, and with one more piece of machinery inside me. It's all good. And just one question for you guys. You talked last week about various things that were happening in Skyrim and the continuity of pretty much as far as we can take it in the Elder Scrolls games so far, like stuff's happened. What do you think about how Bethesda's going to resolve all the possibly mutually exclusive stuff that's going on in the Elder Scrolls V? How do you think the things like the Civil War, the Dark Brotherhood, the assassination of Titus Mead II, and all that's going to pan out? With all the new stuff that they've brought out for the Elder Scrolls Online in a period of history that's been apparently all and over and done with, and they might suddenly unearth all this new stuff. I have a rough theory based on some throwaway lines from the Elder Scrolls 3, but I would absolutely love to hear what you guys thought was going to happen.
Okay. So, wants to know what we think's going to happen. I have no idea.
And I think we're both on the same page there. But what I do think that they're probably going to do with the differences, and especially like if there's exclusive rights in between the online version and the single player versions, hopefully some of the things get tied together in lore books. Now have found some discrepancies in the past where there's been maybe a lore book or two that are in Elder Scrolls Online that are maybe from a different era, but maybe there's explanations for that. We don't know. Is a dragon break somewhere in the mix? We don't know. There's all kinds of things that can happen with time. So I don't think we're really in a position to make like any hard and fast, this is what I think is going to happen. And, you know, because I personally don't think that we're there with lore. You know, as deep as we've dug into lore, I think we are still just kind of hitting the surface. Maybe every once in a while we'll take kind of a deep dive. But I hope that whatever does happen in between the storylines, it does get tied into our game. You know, into Elder Scrolls Online. I like how I call that our game. Like Elder Scrolls 6 won't be our game, but yeah, we'll be playing the crap out of that too. But
Yeah.
This is our game. So that's my personal thought. You know,
I think, you know,
diving too deep.
I feel like, I mean, I would assume they're going to put some kind of nod to the least to the lore of what took place in ESO, because regardless of what people think, you know, it's not an RPG, it's not, you know, my single player experience, I can put all my mods in it and do what I want, put Mario in Skyrim, you know.
That's a good voice.
you know,
That's pretty good.
You know, it's just like, I feel like I would hope that there's some kind of nod to ESO carrying the torch, because they have been. Whether you like MMORPGs or not, doesn't. I'm seeing chat. Doesn't matter what people think. They've been carrying the torch. They've added to this universe. They've added stories. They've added, just imagine the dragon breaks they've added, potential dragon breaks. I mean,
You're right, and I didn't want to bring this up. I really didn't want to, because I didn't want to disparage anybody. But I read an article about how people were they're so upset that Elder Scrolls went online or went to the MMO space. And I know there's people out there that are super single player RPG heavy, like that's their thing, that's what they like to do, and there's absolutely zero wrong with that. I mean, if that's your shtick, that's your shtick. I like that too, but I love it when an IP that I love, and I know we've talked about this one several times, where there's an IP that I love goes into the multiplayer space. And the reason being is exactly what has happened with Elder Scrolls Online, which is profound. It started off rough. We all know that. It did not land rough.
no.
It's like it hit some turbulence on its takeoff
For about 4 years.
and things leveled out.
2.5 years. Yeah.
And you're flying in this plane that's hitting some turbulence, and then everything levels out, and now all of a sudden you come through the clouds.
Exactly.
And there's all these amazing, beautiful sights to be seen, and nothing but a smooth flight. That's how I see what this game is going through now. And then when we talk about the content, the amount of content in the game, I don't remember who said this, but I remember hearing it several times. It's like taking all of the other Elder Scrolls games and putting that amount of content into an MMO.
Yeah.
And that's where we've landed with Elder Scrolls Online. And the one thing that we have to think of and remember is this game it's a daunting task to think about finishing all the content in this game. That is the amount of lore that has been written for the Elder Scrolls series as a whole, right in Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I agree 100%. And really, at this point, I would say ESO has definitely more content than any single Elder Scrolls RPG title. And that's not me being a fanboy, because trust me, I'm a huge fan, especially of Oblivion, Morrowind. I mean, realistically, this game has vastly more content than either of those games provide, even Skyrim. And
right.
I mean, it's not for everybody, but it's what we have right now. And I definitely look forward to Elder Scrolls 5 or 6, wherever we're going, 6, and it's gonna be a good time. So,
yep, and we will talk about it. We will play it.
Oh,
but
that is a conversation we will be having. All right, So next up, we got an email from Gaz. Now, I had to shorten this one just a little bit, but here we go. So, firstly, just a massive shout out to you guys from the Emerald Isle, Ireland. That is awesome. Thank you for listening. I love Ireland. Your country is beautiful. My cousin Charlie and I discovered your podcast last year, and I can say without a doubt that this is the best. Not just one of the best, but the best podcast I have ever listened to, and I have listened to many over the years. So thank you both so much for such high-quality content, lore lessons, and humor. Please keep up the good work for many years to come. That being said, yeah, no kidding.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. It's very nice of you. Appreciate that. Wow. Question. My cousin has very recently left the UK as he was given the opportunity to work in New Zealand as a psychiatrist. Of course, we are still planning ESO to be our main way to keep in contact from two opposite ends of the planet. He had this question for me, which I was unable to answer before he left. Are there any problems with playing ESO on a PS4 from New Zealand if his account is set up for EU server? Also, are there any connection issues that he should be aware of? This is just a general question for any members of Loreseekers who may be from that part of the world, Australia included, and what way do they normally play?
Yeah. So that is a whopper of a question for two podunk Americans who play on the North American server. So I had to do a little bit of research on this. We do have some folks who play in Australia on the North American server. One of them being Bloodeye, who is our raid lead, trials lead, and she every once in a while, she runs into issues every once in a while, but for the most part, she's able to play the game without any issues. Now, doing a little bit of research for you, I did find some info, and I don't know how much you guys are going to like it or not, but anyway, North American server, somebody playing from New Zealand on the North American server, the pings are around. This is just from forum posts and stuff like that, where people kind of asking the same question.
Sure.
Pings are around 200 to 250, and they could spike. Now, the issue seems to be PvP.
I can see that 100%.
That seems to be a problem because right now, I mean, even on a pretty darn stable connection in the North American servers, we're having some issues in Cyrodiil. That can be a problem. I don't really run into them very much in Battlegrounds, and that's a majority of the PvP that I do. But other than that, like PvE seems really to be just fine if you are North American server playing from New Zealand. Now that's North American. I know you guys are specifically asking for EU.
Can imagine it's only better over there, right?
The stuff that I read, they were saying that it's just safer if you live in those regions, New Zealand included, to play North American than EU.
No kidding.
But I don't take this as gospel. That is just the research that I did. I'm probably looked maybe 15 minutes to try and get a good answer for this. And that's where I landed. Now, that being said, these gentlemen play on PS4. So I don't know if there's any differences there either.
I really don't know. I mean, the fact that where they're going to be located, I feel like that'd be more in their favor, than being in A. But
it could be, but I mean, a lot of those regions have, their internet is just different than ours.
That's true. That's true as well.
And I'm not saying that ours is better because we certainly have our own issues here, but yeah, man, I'm sorry, I can't give you like a super definitive answer. I think that would probably be like maybe even if you were to go to the forums for those regions, it might be better. But just on a quick Google search, like I said, I probably looked like maybe 15 minutes to try and get you some info, and that's the info that I was seeing is that most people from New Zealand are going to North American servers.
Awesome. Okay. Well done. Oh, by the way, Charlie's in chat.
Hello, then.
Hello, Charlie.
Yeah. How are you?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, friends. Well, thank you so much. And remember, you can always email us, loreseekerspodcast@gmail.com, or you can call us, 765-382-6961. Goes right to our voicemail. Don't worry. You can hang up. We've had people do that. They'll leave us a voicemail, and mid-voicemail, they'll go, oh, man. And then they'll hang up. They'll call back and try again. You can do that if you need to. Do whatever you got to do. Feel free to call us. That being said, it's time for the news. Woo, that was a little hot. Sorry about that, chat. All right, well, we've got a lot of news, and this all just kind of dropped within a 24-hour period. I really didn't think we were going to have any news today, so that's why I'm like, all right, let's do a Dun Lore. I'll fill that in there. But
now we're double full.
Now we're really full. Like eat a whole pizza kind of full. All right. So
why don't you just do that? I mean, you're already having beer, you broke your diet, whatever.
Well, you know what? I'm kind of thinking about it. And then I'm kind of thinking about maybe little cupcakes, a little bit of brownies, a little bit of blackberry pie.
Oh my God, I can hear you getting fatter. I can literally hear it. I just want to show you something on the camera so you can see it. Do you see this?
Yes.
This is what sticking to keto looks like.
Yes, I know what sticking to keto looks like. Hey, you know what else being a man looks like? It's called having a beard. Why don't you think about one? All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, here we...
I love it how he moves on. It's like his subtle way of muting me so that I can't even say anything. All right, I don't have a beard. That's because I have a man
Oh.
job. I have a man job
That's cute.
where you have to look presentable,
That's
not
pretty-
like a homeless guy.
That's cute. That's real cute. Bless your heart.
I love you.
I hate you. I hope you crap your pants tomorrow. All right, well, earn all new rewards during the Orsidium Celebration event is coming to us from ESO Official. So, quote, venture into the snow-capped mountains of Rothgar during the Orsinium Celebration event for bonus rewards in the Zone and Maelstrom Arena. So, here's what you need to know. If you're listening on release day, which would be Friday, guess what? It's going on right now. And it's going on through August 19th. Now, here's the deals. You can get some sweet deals during this event. One of those being, starting right now, you can pick up the entire Orsinium DLC at 60% off. The DLC game pack includes access to Rothgar and the zone and the story, as well as the well-talked Maelstrom Arena. Next, additionally, you can pick up the Pariah's Pinnacle Home. Cash, I know you were looking at this, both furnished and unfurnished, at a discount as well.
Does that mean that it's available now?
As a recording
By the end
date,
of the week?
check tomorrow.
Yeah. My
If-
crowns are going bye-bye.
There they go. They're flying
I've been
away.
waiting for that house for a year.
Really? I didn't know this one meant that much to you.
Pariah's Pinnacle, yes. This is going to be our new guild hall. It is awesome.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah. Maybe you can help decorate it.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll pull I'll paint some pictures like Bob Ross. Be like,
Oh God. Will
everybody,
you wear the wig?
everybody needs a friend. At least
Will you
one.
wear the wig?
Happy Little Trees. Maybe I'll wear the wig. ESO
Move
Plus
on, you're freaking me out.
ESO Plus members can take advantage of the special deal on the Malacath Furnishing Bundle, Summit Lord Silken Robes costume, and Craglorn Welwa pet.
Ugh.
And it, yeah, because if you want to have Satan running around with you, well, there you go. Those are the ugliest creatures known
Oh,
to everyone ever, said Jibs. All right, so in addition, ESL Plus members acquire the Orsinium Collector Bundle at 60% off. Now, this includes the DLC game pack, the Cave Bear mount, a Cave Bear cub pet, and 5 Crown Experience Scrolls. So there's that. During the event, you can earn the following bonus rewards when adventuring in Rothgar. 1, double items harvested from crafting nodes,
if you can find any.
if you can find any. But, by the way, this does not include nodes spawned from survey reports, so just heads up on that. Double the rewards received from chests in Maelstrom Arena for both vet and normal difficulties.
Okay. You said that, I totally had like gut rot.
Appreciate if you could talk. Double the number of reward boxes received by completing Rothgar's daily quest.
You're gonna just glance right by what I was gonna say.
What? Oh, including.
I'm super nervous. I'm going back to Maelstrom Vet Maelstrom Marina. Can't even
But you
talk
know what?
today.
You know what? Your Templar is putting out vastly superior DPS than your Sork that you originally went with.
It doesn't mean I'm any better in the game.
Well, I
Doesn't
feel like
mean
higher
I
DPS means
suck
it's
less.
means you may suck a little less.
Yeah, I'm starting to see folks in our guild are like starting to go radio silent because they're all going into Maelstrom to give it a shot. Like, is this even worth doing on Vet?
Chat
It's
wants
totally worth doing on Vet, but you have to be ready for a lot of frustration.
Chat wants us to stream Bob Ross painting Jibs.
Only if he wears the wig.
All right, Zos has also added some new rewards exclusive to this event. You got the Maelstrom weapon outfit styles and Orsinium furnishings. Sound like a whiskey burp there.
You like to sit on stone.
Yeah, Maelstrom weapon outfit styles. Now, this is a new thing, right? This is new, okay? So let's read through this here. Throughout the event, when you complete a run through the Maelstrom Arena, you have a chance to receive a Maelstrom weapon outfit style page. Should you complete the arena on vet difficulty, you are guaranteed a page. When earned by completing the arena, the pages can be traded or sold, but the impresario also stocks account-bound pages for 5 event tickets each as well. So you can go earn them in Maelstrom and sell them, or you can just go buy them.
That makes me even more nervous to get my butt in there.
You're going to make a lot of money. You can do
You
vet.
could. Well, yeah.
You can do
I
vet.
know.
I can't do vet, but I know you can.
You can do vet. You can heal the crap out of vet. Just get in there and drop all your AoEs on the monsters.
You're not dying today.
I heal you. Breath of life. Breath of life.
No, I don't breath of life.
Whatever you do.
I raise darkness from the depths of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. All right, so Orsinium Furnishings. For this event only, a select group of orc-themed furnishings, not recipes, are available at the Impresario, because she's back, yay, with prices varying between 1 or 2 event tickets each. Now, that being said, event tickets. They're back.
Here we go.
Our Orsinium Celebration event also provides you with an opportunity to earn event tickets. Yay. During the event, you can earn event tickets for the following activities. 2 event tickets per day for completing any Rothgar Delve daily, or 2 event tickets per day for completing any Rothgar World Boss daily. Here's a quick note. You can earn only 2 tickets per day, meaning how you earn both tickets is up to you. You can earn up to 24 total tickets during this event. Which, by the way, Endrick thing's back. If you're into that, new berries, onyx berries are there. So there's that.
Yes. And, well, this is the dark one, right?
Yeah.
You can get the black one. I think there's a picture of it on the website, and yeah. So that one does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hendrick feathers, onyx berries of budding. The onyx berries of budding.
Yeah.
So that one's cool, but I'll say this again. It's us, my friends at ZeniMax Online. We are ready for a new morphable mount. We're ready.
I don't think that's happening next year. But that being said,
Did you totally know?
I'm totally over this Endrick thing. I mean, no one's listening. It's just between you and me.
But you know what? At least I'll say this. They probably are figuring out that a lot of people are over it. At least the Endrick mount. I'm just not into the Endrick mounts, but I am into the other stuff that the Impresario is stocking.
Yes, 100%. Agreed. Yes. Yes.
So that was smart. Like,
Yep.
okay, so you can let her have some other stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I'm right there with you. That being said, that is the Orsinium event. All right. So, next up, we got face the corrupting influence of a new dragon and lair of Marsalok that's coming to us from ESO Official. And we're getting some juicy deets on the lair of Marsalok dungeon. So,
Yeah, buddy, this is going to be fun.
I love this quote. Whoever wrote this, well done. You did good. Quote, deep beneath the border mountains of eastern Grotwood, the dragon known as Marsalok wakes with the release of his brethren from the halls of Colossus. Hungry and vengeful, the terrible beast has ravaged the wilds, and his corrupting power threatens the Eldenroot tree if left unchecked.
Oh, he's hungry.
Oh, man, that sounds so good.
Somebody ought to get him a bowl of Cap'n Crunch. So he's not so angry.
And a bear for carbs. All right, so ESO's dungeon lead Mike Finnegan said, quote, Marsalok exudes corruption. It seeps into everything he touches, from the ground to the trees and plants and then to the animals. Needless to say, a society built on respecting nature is at odds with this type of corruption. It threatens their entire reason for existing, end quote. This is built perfectly within the lore of Gratwood. I'm just going to say that. Perfectly.
And judging from the pictures of Marsalok, or his lair,
Yeah.
it's very Grotwood.
Yeah.
It's very Valenwood.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. 100%. So, let's see. Probably helps if I get on the right screen here. I'm trying to get this for the stream. But anyway, I'll just keep going. Where was that? Oh, dungeon lore. All right. So, failing to deal with the monsters on their own, the Wood Elves have reached out to an unlikely pair for help. The forest spirit Celine and her captor, the warlock Carandon. Now, that is an old plug right there. That's Celine's web.
Carandon?
Nope, that's a Celine's web right there. That is the result of Celine's web quest. The quest there in that dungeon.
Oh, I like it, dude. Tell me more.
This is good stuff. We should probably go play Celine's Web, you and I and everyone else listening. We should probably go do Celine's Web on Fresh Tunes just to hear that story again.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna have to do it on Fresh Tunes, or we could do a dungeon lore on it.
Oh, there you go. Let's do that sometime. That'd be great.
That's what we do. Then we can have a fruitful conversation about what happened with Celine and her captor, Warlock Carandon.
This is what we do.
It is what we do.
With their help, you and your team must venture into Marsalak's domain and put a stop to his rampages before the blight can spread any further. When you set foot into this new dungeon, you'll discover a natural world decaying under the awoken dragon's influence. Finnegan continued, in quotes, in addition to the corrupted wildlife, the previous expedition of Bosmer, which was sent to deal with Marsalak, are also now a threat. They have been corrupted, and players need to break that corruption the best way possible by beating it out of them.
Dude, I'm like looking at these screenshots here, and God, do they just nail it with screenshots when they're trying to hype you up for something?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
100%.
But you can see the corruption on the ground.
Yeah.
It's like it's growing.
Yeah. And it's not
all over the ground, all over the statues and all the things that are there, and you can literally see the blight. It's bitching.
That's one of my favorite things too, is because it's not your normal kind of corruption. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look. You would think it'd be like green. Like, that's what we've been taught, right? Like some kind of just poisony looking thing.
Yeah, he's mad because he's all out of Cap'n Crunch.
He's mad.
He's hungry.
Missed his buffet, his Sunday buffet, all you can eat.
And he looks like super corrupted too. He looks like he's got a dusting of some type of a purple fungi on him.
Yeah.
When you look at Marsalak himself.
Yeah. He looks pretty gnarly. That's for sure.
Okay, I'm looking too far ahead. I'm looking at the armor.
Oh, okay, yeah, don't do that yet. That's your job, by the way. You're talking about that. I don't know if you know that or not.
Okay.
All right, so Finnegan continued. Oh, no, we talked about that. Sorry. All right, so regarding Marsalak, Finnegan continued, quote, as players fought dragons in Sunspire and elsewhere, they realized the challenge is intended for more than a group. We wanted to keep that feeling that dragons aren't just normal monsters to be defeated. In order to do that, we kept health over the course of 3 fights. It also allowed us to show different aspects of dragon encounters, from flying to perching to eventually fighting on the ground. Now, we do have some pretty sweet loot, and I'm really liking this heavy armor set. Why don't you go ahead and tell them about it?
It's amazing. Should you succeed in ending Marsalak's corruption, you'll loot a host of unique rewards and collectibles, including 3 new gear sets and a monster helm. This includes Dragon's Defilement, a new heavy set that debuffs nearby enemies. Take a little look-see at this here. Yeah, so that bow, oh my word. Staff's got like a little spider at the top. This is a really, really cool looking Dragon's Defilement. It's a heavy set. 2 items boost your stamina by 1100. 3 items, another 1100 stam boost. 4 items boost your health by 1206. And here's the kicker. 5 items when you take damage from a melee attack.
Wow.
Gain a corrupting aura for 5 seconds that applies minor fracture and minor breach to all enemies near you, lowering their physical and spell resistance by 1320. This can occur once every 5 seconds.
Dude,
that could be a new BIS. Best in slot.
This is crazy talk, but I want to take this on a medium for like what's normally a medium armor tune. You know, like the Bobo build into PvP.
Okay.
This just sounds
do some bonuses, but
this just sounds fun. I know it
could.
I know it's odd, but you know that's what we're about. So yeah, you know.
It certainly could be.
I love this whole debuff thing.
Yeah.
Really, really cool concept.
No, it could really be an awesome set. So to continue, the gear sets Lair Marsalak will also reward players with new achievements, of course, new mementos, new furnishings, and finally, should you complete both Lair Marsalak and Moongrave Fane, you'll receive a new tablet collectible, allowing you to unlock a new wing within the Hall of the Lunar Champion home.
Da-da. I'm so excited for that.
That has been a big question that's been going on. Like, hey, how do you unlock the schnibs on the schnibs? Well, that's how. All you gotta do is go through and beat them both on normal, and you're good to go.
I'm all about that. I'm ready for that that new wing to be unlocked.
I think we were going to. I thought you and I were gonna go do this without even looking at mechanics or anything. Just started on vet.
I'm game. I mean, I'm ready for a nut crunch. Sign me up.
Ouch.
I'm gonna tell you right now,
Ouch.
if it's anything like Moonhunter Keep on vet, then GG.
Hey, we already get nut crunched on content that we know the mechanics in.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to do this.
Yeah.
We got to do this. It looks so good. So anyway, yeah, Lair Marsalak is looking. These dungeons are really, really looking good, and I really like the way the armor looks. I know you mentioned it, but it just, especially with the Dragon Guard coming later in the year, I just like the way that these have been developed. Very Dragonbone-esque, but not too much. Looks really cool. They did a good job.
Very dragon boner.
Yeah, very Dragonbone. All right, so the Elder Scrolls Online Elsewhere soundtrack, by the way, is now available. I'm going to gloss over this real quick, but this is coming to us from ESO Official. You can listen to this, and I know those here in chat were listening to it before the show started, on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, MP3, Amazon Streaming, and Google Play. It's really, really good. Really, really good.
Very good. That first song, I know you know it. If you play the game, it gives you chills.
Yeah, it's good stuff. When composing the Elsewhere soundtrack, the team worked hard to ensure the Khajiit had their own sound distinct from other cultures of Tamriel. ESO's audio director, Brad Derrick, said, "Oh man, Brad, this is a good job of music. If you're listening, you do great. Quote, I wanted something uniquely Khajiit sounding while still fitting in the rest of the ESO soundtrack. So I started with the established ESO orchestral style, but composed all the music using a non-traditional scale that works as the basis for the musical language of the Khajiit. Some new instrumental textures were introduced as well to give this music a distinct identity. Quainan and Esraj players performed alongside the orchestra and choir, and they were also used as accompaniment for the bard songs and player emotes. Finally, solo vocal elements were brought to the fore to give the soundtrack a sense of intimacy and to emotionally connect the player to the game world of Elsewhere." End quote. So yeah,
I am about to tell the world how completely uncultured I am. Seriously. I had no idea that the Ezraj was a real world thing. I'm like now on Wikipedia looking at the Ezraj. I mean, I thought it was like an Elder Scrolls name of an instrument, but no, it's a real thing.
mm-hmm.
The Ezraj,
Mm-hmm.
which is by far now my favorite. I mean, even way more than the loot. I love to sit down on my butt in the middle of a dungeon if someone's AFKing for some reason or selling stuff, and I play the Ezraj.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well-
now I know it's a real thing. I feel really stupid right now. I don't care. It's amazing. This is why.
Mm.
The very opening song that I talked about that I love so much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That song is just the beginning of what the soundtrack makes me feel. The soundtrack, the entire thing makes me feel the struggle of the Khajiit during this timeline.
That's a good, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're experiencing an incredible tragedy across their land. Their people are being butchered and murdered and burned alive. And, and at the same time, the Manhattan flu is not completely gone. It's still like little remnants of it are still there. But imagine what happened through the whole of Elsewhere when the Manhattan flu was at its peak.
Yeah.
The devastation. And now they got through that for the most part. And now they're getting hit by all these dragons invading their land. So it tells the story. That music really does bring home the peril that they're going through.
I agree 100%. I don't think I could really add anything. That's perfectly said. Like, I agreed. It expresses what they're going through, and really what the zones are going through as well. The land of the Khajiit itself,
Right.
Perfectly said. Agreed, 100%.
I wonder how hard it would be to learn how to play the Ezraj.
Well, you really can't walk without falling, so I really don't think you have the dexterity or intellect to play a musical instrument.
Could you imagine me like on some street corner just like
I would pay money. I'd pay top dollar.
That's exactly why I'd be there. I'd have like a little cowboy hat and just flip it upside down and be like, hey, you like my music.
You're gonna be
you
like the
drop a
naked
little corner
cowboy
right.
in NYC. You gonna be that guy?
No, I didn't say I
We're
would
gonna
play it.
We're gonna
Ezraj
call you the
naked.
naked Khajiit.
No, I'd be fully clothed. Maybe I'll wear a cat shirt.
Okay,
Something like that.
Because that's not creepy AF.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
All right. Well, everyone, it's
Goals.
time for Dungeon Lore.
Dungeon lore, my friends. Sharpen your swords. Do whatever you're going to do. We're going to talk about Darkshade Caverns 2 today. We hit Darkshade's Cavern 1. Darkshade Caverns 1 yesterday, or last week. Oh my God. It's real. Anyway, let's talk about it this week. A lot of the stuff is pretty much the same, but there are some different things we're going to talk about. No, we're really not going to talk mechanics in this one. We may get into mechanics when we start getting to the harder DLC dungeons, which are coming pretty quick because we're kind of clicking along on Dungeon Lore a little bit. So when you're loading into Darkshade Caverns 2, you have a little story. Story is these caves have the distinction of being one of the most famous Kwama mines in Deshaan. Dark elves consider Kwama eggs a delicacy, and those harvested from Darkshade Caverns are particularly prized by Dunmeri gourmet. You will find Darkshade Caverns in Siltrine, that is in Deshaan. It's in southeastern Deshaan. And one of the quests that you can get, it's the second quest in the series. This one is called What Was Lost. And here's the story behind it. This quest starts out with a conversation with a mage by the name of Shatasha inside Darkshade Caverns. She requests your party's help investigating the Dwemer ruins and finding the owner of the mine, Nirvana.
Nirvana? Not to be confused with Nirvana.
Yeah, not the grunge band. Nirvana. So, as Deshaan's largest Kwama mine, the cavern's ownership is very, very hotly contested. The caverns also contain the hidden Dwemer ruin. Here's the word again of Kugams. That's what I'm saying because they are silent. In the normal version, Turver Sadri wants you to help him reclaim his mine from thugs within. So basically what's happening, Nirvana's lost in there. She's the actual owner of the mine. There's still some quarrel about who actually owns the mine, but there's so many Kwama in there that you are requested to assist. So you can also learn a little bit more about this location just by listening to Mad Zeba outside of Eldenroot. She kind of tells a story about it. Lady Blade does the same outside of Wayrest, or Hronir Icy Mane outside of Mournhold. So kind of everywhere you can hear the story, at least in all the capital cities, you can hear the story of what's going on in Darkshade Caverns. Okay, what kind of enemies are you going to run into in there? Kwama, of course. There's Scrib, there's warriors, and there's Kwama workers. There's miners in there, fallen and transmuted. There's also fallen and transmuted marksmen. There's Dwemer constructs in there. You're going to find Dwarven centurions, Dwarven spiders, Dwarven spheres. Now the mini bosses. The Fallen Foreman, who's another corrupted miner. You're going to have to get through him. There's a transmuted Aelit And accompanying him is a trio of Alit. And then there's the engine garrison, a large group of Dwemer constructs. Now, the bosses in there that are going to net you some gear that Jibs is going to talk about is the Transmuted Hive Lord, which is an unusually large Quama warrior and his companion Scribs. Then there's Grobel the Transmuted, a large Netch and his Netchlings. This fight is kind of a pain in the butt on Vet. It's just a pain. So there's that. Then there's the Engine Guardian. And this is a giant Dwemer spider guarding the Dwemer mechanism that puts out all kinds of poisons. So you got to like shift levers and then he'll like drop to the ground and you drop all your AoEs on him. Then it's actually a pretty fun boss. Anyway, get through all that. You're going to get some gear sets.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to get gear. You want to know what it is?
Pretty sure they do.
All right, here it is. Not just touch. This is the light set. So 2 items adds 833 spell crit. 3 items adds 1096 maximum magicka. 4 items adds 129 spell damage. And 5 items adds 400 spell damage to your shock damage abilities. So next up, we got the Strength of Automaton. This is the medium armor set. Adds 833 weapon crit. 1096 max stam. 129 weapon damage, and 400 weapon damage to your physical damage abilities. Then finally, you have the Armor of Truth, not to be confused with the Sword of Truth. All right, you have 833 weapon crit, 1096 max stam, 129 weapon damage, and at 5 items, when you set an enemy off balance, your weapon damage is increased by up to 450 for 10 seconds. For the Monster Helm set, we've got the Engine Guardian. 1 piece adds 129 health recovery. 2 items. When you use an ability, you have a 10% chance to summon a Dwemer automaton to restore over 1,200 health, stamina, or magicka to you every 0.5 seconds for 6.5 seconds. That's fun.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really see that set used, but that's fun.
No, I think I've picked up the shoulder about 1 million times, but no, I don't really see that one getting used.
Yeah. For achievements, we've got the Darkshade Caverns 2 Vanquisher, so you beat all the bosses, all right? Darkshade Caverns 2 Conk, you beat all the bosses, but on Vet. Deadly Engineer, defeat the Engine Guardian in Darkshade Caverns 2 without anyone in your group activating an engine lever.
Ooh, that'd be a good one to try.
That'd be fun. Man, and I know I've been saying this, but I really would like to get into dungeon achievements. I want to 100% those things. I think that'd be fun. Especially those higher end dungeons. Oh, man.
I think we could do that one, Deadly Engineer one. That doesn't seem like it's too hard. Especially with good DPS. Just freaking melt that thing down.
Yeah, and I'll nod off in the back with some heals.
That would be when you're going to need to heal, because those poisons can get lethal.
It gets legit. Quite ridiculous, actually. Veteran Construct Slayer, defeat 800 Dwarven Constructs. Veteran Quama Slayer 2, defeat 200 Quama. And then you've got the Darkshade Caverns 2 Survivor. That's a no-death run. Basically, you don't die the entire time, right?
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Darkshade Caverns 2 Assassin. That's a speed run. Beat the entire dungeon in 20 minutes. Timer starts upon engaging the first group of Quama. And
totally doable.
Agreed. And that, my friends, is your dungeon lore for the week. So, it's time for that kind of special lore lesson by
Watch your nuts.
Cash. Cover your groin section, apparently.
My friends, lore lesson number 68. We are covering the Dragon Guard tonight. Why? Because with the upcoming release of the Scalebreaker dungeon DLC for ESO, I thought it might be appropriate to detail a very iconic organization in Tamriel's history, because in the new dungeon, a former member of the fabled Dragon Guard and his band of vampires have captured a dragon within the ancient ruins of Moongrave Fane. The fallen Dragon Guard has sinister plans to extract the power of the captured dragon's blood and use it for his own evil purposes. Now, at the end of the month, we'll get to see how the story plays out. But there's a little taste of the dungeon lore for the new DLC that's coming out. Anyway, on top of this, we just a couple of weeks ago, or a week and a half or so ago, released a Roads Less Traveled, our video series on the Dragon Guard. So I figured I would do a full lore lesson on the Dragon Guard because of how interesting they are and where they came from. So buckle up. Let's do it. Okay. The Dragon Guard of the Second Era. Who are they? What role did they have in the history of Tamriel, and what role do they have in its future? Well, the ones that we know of the Second Era were descendants of a race that has since gone extinct in the story of Nirn. At least as far as we know. The Seeshi, or the Seichi.
One more time, just to be clear.
Words. Okay. It can be pronounced two different ways, Seesi or Seishi. I'm going to prefer Seishi. Yeah, so there's that.
Okay.
So anyway, who were they? They were a vampiric race of serpent folk and or humanoids who originated on the continent of Akavir. These are some of your original Akaviri. Akavir is located to the east of Tamriel, and it was the home to 4 unrelated races who were all referred to as the Akaviri. Anything that came from Akavir makes sense, is known as the Akaviri. Let's talk a little bit about these 4 races. We've already talked about them before in some of the lore lesson, I believe, on the lesser known races of Tamriel, but we're going to hit them again. There are 4 distinct races that lived on Akavir. The first were the snow demons of Kamal. Kamal is one of the nations of Akavir and was inhabited by a frozen demon race. They were known to thaw out once per year, and all they would do once they thawed was launch attacks on the other nations of Akavir.
Wow.
And a majority of their attacks were focused on the Tang Mo. We're going to talk about the Tang Mo in a minute. The next, actually just talking about it right now, the monkey people of Tang Mo. These were known as monkey people. The Tang Mo were a monkey-like race inhabiting the 1,000 Monkey Isles in Akavir. They spent much of their existence defending their nation against the attempts to enslave the entire race, specifically from the snow demons of Kamal. They were not nice. Then there were the tiger dragons of Kapotun, also known as Potun. Gosh, the words. Anyway, this tiger-like cat race found on the continent of Akavir were very similar to the Khajiit and the Lilmothite. Their leader, Tashraka, was said to have had the ability to transform into a large orange and black dragon. Unconfirmed. Just saying, because that sounds pretty awesome. Like, this orange is the new black dragon. I don't know. Sounds like a good show. Then the 4th race of Akavir were the serpent men of Seishi. Serpent-like Seishi originated from the wandering Elnafei, which were the fated descendants of the Aedra who actually walked Tamriel with the ancestors of Men and Mer. So the biggest thing to remember is that the Seishi were serpent-like. And at some point, that kind of faded off. And the Seishi were no longer serpent-like. I don't freaking know how. There's nothing that tells how. I just know that from the research that I did that there are Seishi, the old Seishi of old were serpent-like, and they eventually became not serpent-like.
Man, wouldn't that be a fun expansion?
Yeah. Like to where the Seishi is not completely gone. That would be amazing.
Yeah. Wow.
Just Akavir, period. Like that's what we were talking about when we were talking about where we'd like to see it go. And I would love to see Akavir and Atmora and all these different places.
Would literally be the epitome of military design when it comes to troops. Like their skill in battle and everything would just be even larger than the Red Guard. I mean,
I think you might be very correct on that. And the reason being that's actually a perfect segue into what the Seishi were known for. And trust me, we're going to get there because it's pretty freaking cool. A little fun fact for you. The Seishi, having consumed all of the men on Akavir, killed them all, then turned their sights on the dragons in the region. And this plays perfectly off what Jibbs was just talking about. They managed to enslave the red dragons on Akavir, but the black dragons fled to the Potun for assistance. A great war ensued in which the Seishi and the Potun were both weakened over time, with the Seishi eventually leaving Akavir to pursue their dragon hunting elsewhere.
haha.
Not in elsewhere, but elsewhere other than Akavir.
Oh,
So what that means to me is that somewhere on Akavir, the black dragons still exist. I'm just saying, there was no closure there. Cash needs closure, people. See what I'm saying?
it's true. He really does. If he doesn't get it,
He
he
does.
gets angsty.
He does. Needs his cap and crunch. Okay.
And
Anyway.
I get a phone call.
After nearly conquering all of the dragons on their home continent of Akavir, a large contingent of these dragon hunters set their sights on Tamriel in the First Era, year 2700. Remember, the First Era was incredibly long.
We know this.
Upon their arrival, they got right to work and were very successful in slaying many dragons in the region of Skyrim in an event they coined the Crusade. I think they killed like 20. No, I'm wrong. It was in the teens. We're going to get there. Oh, yep, it's right below. Okay, anyway, I'll shut up and keep reading. The Akaviri dragon hunters gained a reputation on Tamriel, and the remaining dragons feared the organization and fled from their approach in an attempt to survive. At least 14 dragons were known to have been slain by the invading Akaviri. Another little fun fact.
Wow.
The most notable dragon to survive the dragon hunting Seishi was Parthenax, a lieutenant of Alduin during the Dragon War. The Akaviri were aware of his presence atop the throat of the world, but they also knew that he was protected by the Greybeards. And because of the Akaviri dragon hunters' policy to not directly confront the Greybeards, Parthenax was spared a confrontation.
Oh, I love this lore.
I thought that was very interesting. Like,
Yeah.
the Seishi are not afraid of anything. They're willing to hunt and kill dragons, but they will not mess with the Greybeards.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's profound.
I love this lore. It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good. Okay. So the Akaviri dragon hunters continued to hunt dragons which had fled Akavir until they were confronted by the forces of Remen Cyrodiil at a very pivotal battle in Pale Pass in Cyrodiil. The battle was very short, and it ended when the Akaviri surrendered suddenly to Remen's forces. Now, why, do you ask, did they surrender? They proclaimed that they had been searching for the leadership that they saw in Remen, and they joined his forces on the spot. Super weird, and I could not find anything else related to that. Like, what? They came all the way across the sea to hunt dragons and look for a better leader? It didn't make any freaking sense to me.
Yeah. Seems a little rando, doesn't it?
It does. But when you think about like even basic human nature in that, people want to be led,
Yeah.
and so do serpents. So I continue.
Hmm.
Together, the forces of the Akavir and Remen's Imperial Legion would continue to take over most of Tamriel. Now, eventually, Remen Cyrodiil would take the throne of the Emperor, and he would found the Second Empire. The best and the wisest of the Seishi, who joined forces with Remen, would become known as the Dragon Guard, and they would answer only to Remen Cyrodiil or his descendants. Fiercely loyal, for what reason we do not know, but pretty incredible what they became. So following their initial successes under the guidance of the Empire, the Dragon Guard wouldn't always see eye to eye with the person sitting on the throne. It wasn't always a Remen. So during the reign of Emperor Gustav in the First Era, year 2801, a disagreement ensued when the Emperor ordered the seizing of hostages from Skyrim due to their unmet conscription quotas. Now, what's conscription? Military draft, basically. He wanted a certain amount of certain age males to be used for soldiers. And
Right.
they were like, we're not doing that.
No.
We need people to chip ice. So anyway,
Ah.
what ended up happening? Emperor Gustav was not a very happy man when it came to the Nords. So when the Dragon Guard disagreed with the orders that the Emperor had set out for them to seize hostages from Skyrim because of the unmet conscription, they refused to fight against the rebellion. So the Dragon Guard were in a really, really difficult spot. They're like, no, we're not doing that. These people are just trying to live, and you're trying to force us to seize innocent people? No. So anyway, the Dragon Guard supplies were cut off by the Empire, causing them to form an allegiance with the Reachmen. And you'll remember the Reachmen are the wild Bretons,
Yeah.
the Witchmen of High Rock. That's who they are. And the squabbles between the Dragon Guard and the Empire would only be quelled when a Remen Cyrodiil II would come back into power in the First Era, year 2806. So for 5 years, they battled Emperor Gustav. The Dragon Guard would again return to Emperor Remen Cyrodiil II's side as his personal honor guard. Here's a little fun fact, and you Skyrim players will definitely like this one. The construction of Alduin's Wall began in the First Era, year 2812, with members of the Dragon Guard across the entire Empire being summoned to assist. This wall, a large Akaviri mural found within the Skyhaven Temple, which was the home of the Blades. Don't worry, we'll get there. This wall is considered one of the most iconic sculptures depicting key historical events. These key historical events: the Dragon War, Jaggertharn's rule, the Staff of Chaos, the activation of the Numidium, the Warp in the West, the fall of the Tribunal in Vardenfell, the eruption of the Red Mountain, the Oblivion Crisis, and the return of Alduin the World Eater are among the scenes that are carved into that wall.
That's really, really cool.
Yes, so if you can remember, as part of your main quest line in Skyrim, when you walk into Skyhaven Temple, which is incredible, there's a series of things that are in place in order for you to even open Skyhaven Temple, including shedding your own blood as the player because you're Dragonborn, to even open it, which is really cool. And then you get in there and you will see Alduin's Wall. It's amazing. And I fell in love with this lore when I was reading. I was like, that has to be a fun fact. So there you go. All right, back to the Dragon Guard. Following the death of Remen Cyrodiil III in the First Era, year 2920, the Dragon Guard was officially disbanded. Some of the former organization followed the Seshi Daenerys Vess and founded the Sefim. Now, the Sefim, if you remember from way back one of our lore lessons last year, the Sefim is also known later as the Fighters Guild.
Wow.
Yeah, so when the Dragon Guard was disbanded, others became solo adventurers and found their own way. But with the rise of Versidue Shai the Seishi advisor to Remen III. The Dragon Guard would be reformed, but focused more on military intelligence than gathering and protection. Okay, so during the Second Era, under the rule of Emperor Varen Aquilarios, the Dragon Guard would again be reformed, and they would be led by none other than the legendary Red Guard swordsman by the name of Sai Sahan. Sai Sahan would be responsible for training many of the Dragon Guard's leaders himself, focusing on the art of swordsmanship, leadership, and battleground tactics. And by the time this happened in history, the Dragon Guard were no longer only comprised of Seishi, but of all races of Tamriel. So you didn't have to be an ancient Akavir anymore. A lot of them were dying off. But any race in Tamriel, depending on your skill and prowess and how you could make it through, you could end up being part of the Dragon Guard. Now it gets more interesting. Fun fact. During the Three Banners War, a Dragon Guard outcast would be responsible for assisting with the ending of Molag Bal's influence in the Imperial City. This is part of your quest line in ESO. Known as the Drake of Blades, this mysterious female Imperial assassin would work alongside the Vestige to liberate the Imperial City from the Daedra. I'm sure you can remember that if you played through your main quest line. Okay, this is where it got really interesting and where I really kind of I started to love it. This is the end of the lore lesson, but it's not the end of what happens to the Dragon Guard. Sometime after the events of the Alliance War, the Dragon Guard would disband and reform, and they'd be sworn back into service of the Dragonborn. Now you'll remember this from Skyrim.
Oh yeah.
Actually, it's even prior to Skyrim. The new organization, whose patron deity was Talos, was known as the Blades. And I'm going to end it there because at some point we'll cover the Blades again, even though it's not in our timeline, in ESO's timeline. What do we care? It's Elder Scrolls lore.
It's the Blades, man.
And we love it. And it's the Blades. So, I mean, that lends to so much lore outside of ESO.
Yeah.
You know, as the Third Era ensues and the Fourth Era ensues, and then also right into the mobile game.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
So, gotta love this lore. So good.
That was good. That's got me all kinds of hype for Dragonhold. And heck, it's got me all kinds of hype just to, experience more of the Seishi. I mean, whew.
Yeah, I really would like to learn more about them because they seem like an absolutely incredible race.
Agreed, 100%. Agreed. Well done, bro. Well done. That was good. All right, friends. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Loreseekers podcast. And if you did, we hope whatever app you're using, you'll be sure and leave a review for the show. But for every 5-star review that we get on iTunes, we show you some love with a shout out on the show. And we got a couple here. First one here is C. Howard 13 from the USA. Says, love this show and love the community that it has fostered. Join their Xbox guild and everyone has been so welcoming and helpful. Great for new players. That's awesome. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Why don't you take the next one?
This one is from Jackson Herman, and he's in the USA. He says, this show is kind of a hybrid show in the perfect way. It's a half show about the lore of Elder Scrolls World, all the little nooks and crannies of the franchise so many of us enjoy. And it's half a show about ESO and its active community. Jibs and Cash care passionately about this game and the people who play it, and their positivity about the game and folks they love bleeds into every episode. And while those are the principal components, there's so much more to enjoy, and the entire guild and Discord of lovely people too. If you play ESO, I highly recommend this podcast.
That's really nice.
Thank you, Jackson.
Thank
that
you.
was pretty amazing. Much appreciated.
Yeah, no kidding. Shout outs.
We do have a shout out. Last week we shouted Aramithius out from the Written in Uncertainty podcast. He was going through a little rough patch, and it seems like he's got everything sewn up, quite literally. So, Aramithius, we're glad you're on the mend, and we just wish you well and continue your path to recovery, my friend.
Agreed. And again, don't forget, you can always call us, and we encourage you, put this in your contacts. Maybe you have a question that pops in your head, something that just strikes you about ESO or about Elder Scrolls or Elder Scrolls lore in general. Put this phone number in your contacts, 765-382-6961. 765-382-6961. You can call us 365, 7 days a week. It'll take you right to our voicemail. And if you want to play it on the show, try to keep around a minute or less, and we'll do our best to put in. You can also email us, loreseekerspodcast@gmail.com. Now, if you're wanting to join our Discord server, our community, and meet lore seekers from literally all over the globe, well, visit loreseekerspodcast.com/guild, download the Discord, join our Discord server, and visit Apply to Guild, the Apply to Guild channel, and just type /apply and hit enter. You'll get DM'd that guild application. Fill it out. If we like what we see, you're in. You can find this show wherever podcasts are free. All apps. Wherever it's free, we're there. And if you want even more Lore Seeker content, be sure to check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/LoreSeekers, and our official website, LoreSeekersPodcast.com. You want to go there and actually read the lore lessons? You can. They're there. Cash puts them up there for you, and does a great job at it. Cash, where can they find us?
You can find us also on Twitter. You can find Jibs at JibsIRL. You can find Cash at Loreseeker Cash, and the Cash is with a K. But most importantly, follow the show. We're on Twitter at Loreseekers Cash. We're on Twitter at Loreseekers Cash. Dude, I F these up every single week.
Oh, bless your soul.
Shut up. Okay. We're on Twitter at Loreseekers Cast. We're on Instagram at Loreseekers. And of course, we're right here at our home on Twitch, twitch.tv/Loreseekers Podcast.
Friends, thanks so much. We hope you had a great week. We hope you have a great week ahead. And stay safe, stay awesome. We love you. And before we go, we like to end on an encouraging word. Keep grinding. You're going to get to where you want to be. And you may be climbing right now up the side of the mountain, but you're going to get there. I promise you. Have a great week. See you guys.